My heart is going kyun kyun after watching episode 7 from You and Idol PreCure, which is what we're going to talk about in this video. Truly a surprise, a present to us PreCure fans. What an amazing debut from Kyu Kyun Kyun. Truly something else. This episode blew me away. And I feel like one of the things that that really impressed me while watching this, there were lots of things that impressed me. One of them is that they were able to tell us so much about Kokoro in such a little time. They have established so many things about Kokoro's character in the first few minutes of this episode that I truly found incredible. And before her appearance in the show, her actual appearance, I was believing that Kokoro was going to be this energetic, this girl who can't control her energy. And I don't think that it's actually like that. She's very serious in the things that she does. And I feel like her journey is, or at least was until now, to open her heart and to be able to understand her own feelings and accept her own feelings. So when I say that the show establishes a lot about Kokoro right from the get-go, is because I feel like we know a lot about her just from the first few minutes. We start the episode with a scene that connects with the last one, with Kokoro running away. She gives the idol heart brooch back to Purirun. And we now understand why. She was scared. She could not deal with the fact that there were actual monsters that those idols were fighting. She admires the idols, but she did not know about this side of them. And she runs away. There are other things that the show establishes about Kokoro, but then the show establishes another thing that is very interesting. Not exactly about her, also about her, but not only about her. On the next scene, we have Uta, Nana, and Purirun talking. Purirun is very sad, and the girls are feeling sad as well. But Purirun is the one that's the most sad, even though it's very easy to make Purirun feel better because, a cup of hot milk already made Purirun smile again. I mean, who doesn't get happy with a little something good to drink, right? Purirun, I get you. At that moment, we understand that Purirun was feeling guilty about what was going on, and the girls were trying to understand why Purirun gave her the idol heart brooch, and then Tanaka arrives. They are in doubt. Kokoro probably couldn't be an idol PreCure. But then Tanaka says something interesting. He says, he asks Purirun, why did you give her the idol heart brooch? And Purirun answers that it was because she had a lot of kira. The kira was so strong in her that Purirun had to give her the idol heart brooch. And then Tanaka says, well, so you have to trust her brilliance. A brilliance so strong like that, you're not going to be able to take it away so easily. And then at the same time, we have another thing being established about Kokoro. She is dancing non-stop. She cannot stop dancing. But she cannot stop thinking about the idols at the same time. She was dancing because she was trying to put something else in her mind. And as the episode goes on, we learn more about that. But she was trying to get more things in her mind to keep her away from the idols. She couldn't. She kept on remembering the Cure Idol performance. She kept on remembering Cure Idol and Cure Wink battling the day before. She cannot take them away from her mind. When Kokoro gets home, her mom notices there is something wrong about her, but she doesn't tell what is that wrong thing about her. And Kokoro gets to her room. She gets all of the idol stuff and the Wink stuff that she has, and she puts it on a box and she hides it in her closet. That is a metaphorical action, in my opinion, and I will explain why. And then before the next day, we have the funniest scene of the episode. Uta and Purirun, they were already in bed, and then they stand up, or they don't stand up, they sit down in bed, and they're like, I can't sleep. Okay, We need to help Kokoro. Yes, we do. Tomorrow we're going to do that. But now we're going to sleep. And then they go back to bed and they instantly fall asleep. I'm sorry. The comedy on this season is one of the best, in my opinion. I am having so much fun. I love this. And then on the next day, they go to school and they learn with Mikoto that Kokoro has already went home. She canceled the club appointment and she tells them where she lives and they go to her house. Here we have other things being established and the most important thing about Kokoro being established. When they get to Kokoro's house, they meet her grandmother, who is really, really cute. They are talking to her grandmother. And when they are there dialoguing with her grandma, the grandma says something very important, which is, oh, did you learn about Kokoro's dad? And when they look at the pictures, they can see Kokoro's dad there. And Kokoro's dad, unfortunately, passed away when she was a very young kid. And since then, she's been dancing. And so right at that moment, the show makes it clear for us. Kokoro uses dance as an escapism. Whenever she is having troubles, whenever she's having problems, whenever she's having sad feelings, how does she deal with them? By not thinking about them. And how does she do that? She dances. And she even explains it to the dance club member that is trying to scout her. She tells him, oh, I did not notice you were there. When I'm dancing, there is nothing in my mind. And at that point, she was trying to stray her mind away from the thoughts of Idol and Wink. And it's easy to understand that it's not only the fact that she was scared of the Makurandas. I don't think that is the main thing about Kokoro at that moment. I really believe that what Kokoro was going through is that she wanted to be like Cure Idol and Cure Wink. And when she saw that they battle, she probably did not think that she had it in her to be as equal as them, because she would also have to be a magical creature. And I mean, it's easy to look at yourself and think, well, I'm not fit for that. I can't do that. It's her dream being crushed. It is something that she believed that she could do. It's something that she really wanted inside her heart to do. But now she can't. Or she believes that she can't. And when the guy goes away, we have Kokoro trying to figure out her feelings. And then she understands that the dance this time is something that is not going to be enough. It is not going to be enough for her to be able to hide her emotions. She is going to have to do something else. She's going to have to come to terms with her emotions. And that's what she does. She touches her reflection and she starts singing the Cure Idol song. But then Uta and Nana arrive. And another important thing about that scene, which is also another thing that this episode does a lot, is that every time Kokoro is dancing, she is dancing under the roof, or like she's not dancing in the sun. So she is dancing in the shadows. But what is important here is that the show makes it very clear that she is dancing in the dark, because it would be easy to put her in a place that she would be dancing without it being shadowing her, without the structures shadowing her like they were doing in this episode. And that is a metaphor for her not being able to deal with her feelings, just like she did with the box earlier in the episode. She can't deal with the feelings. What does she do? She boxes and puts them inside the wardrobe. You don't have to deal with that. You just don't have to look at them. And that is what she's been doing. That is the type of person that Kokoro is. And the way that she uses the dance not to be able to understand her feelings, but to hide them and not to confront her own feelings, is shown by the shadows as well. PreCure does this a lot, and later on it's also going to be a thing. But in this moment, She is able to listen to Uta singing, and when she looks at Uta, she sees Uta, Nana, and Purirun. It's very nice. Uta senpai, Nana senpai. And when Purirun sees her, Purirun sees that she's very sad, and Purirun starts crying as well. Purirun blames herself for what is going on with Kokoro. And it's understandable. Purirun is right now learning to grow. She is growing, she is learning, she is understanding the situations around her. Because when she did everything she did with Kokoro, she had good intentions, but the world is not only done of good intentions. Hell is full of them. And Purirun had to tell her what being an idol PreCure entails. And she didn't. And now she understands, and she asks for forgiveness. She hugs Kokoro, and Kokoro is there battling her feelings. And both Uta and Nana, they know this about her. They know this little detail about her personality. And they both notice, or Uta actually notices, that a tear falls down. And what a beautiful scene that was. Truly incredible. Oh my God, visually stunning. And also the representation of what that entails to the narrative. Incredible. Uta notices that those feelings that are bottled inside of her need to come out. And so she gets close to her and she tells her, you need to overflow your feelings. You need to deal with them. And for Kokoro, it's really hard. But both Uta and Nana support her with what she needed at that moment. And she is able to finally let go and finally cry and cry and cry. All of her sadness for not being able to be the one she wanted to be the most is now finally out. She is able to cry. She's able to let go of what was shadowing her emotions. Her emotions are now in the front of her existence, finally. And one of the most beautiful scenes of the episode, we have Uta singing her song while Nana is also holding Kokoro's hand, and they both run. They both take away Kokoro from the shadows, and Kokoro gets to the light because she is able to now understand her feelings and understand that she can deal with them. Even if it's through tears, she is able to deal with the feelings. And she does. She cries. But now she's in the light. She is with her true feelings. Together with the true feelings that she has are close to her now. And she's able to go home happy in that day. Truly, truly something else. And then we have the Chokiri team. Love that Chokiri team scene. Very short, but really, really effective, because Cuddy was talking about the new cure that appeared and did not turn into a cure. And Chokirine told him, you're wrong. You didn't do anything. You're wrong, because you have to cut the things before they start existing. And it's really the theme of the Chokiri team, cutting things. You know, the scissor thematic, very cool. And girl, let me just say, Chokirine's nails, they're so huge. She is such a slay. I love her so much. Before we go on, it is time for our Idol Corner. And in today's Idol Corner, the biggest idol group from Japan. With the arrival of Kyu Kyun Kyun, today we talk about AKB48. Popularity, sales, sold out concerts, cute girls, scandals, problems, and a lot of idleness. AKB48 is, at least when it comes to numbers, the most popular idol group to ever exist. Starting in 2005 with the concept of idols you can meet, with its own theater in Akihabara, it wasn't long until the group took Japan by storm. Bringing idols to the mainstream once again, AKB48 singles started hitting the 1 million mark sales, and the centers became nationwide celebrities. AKB48 took the idol concept to the extreme, redefining the popularity of idols and the obsession of a legion of fans. There is never a dull moment with this group. That's always full of fresh ideas and concepts, like the Senbatsu, a voting contest in which fans vote for their faves in hopes of them being the next center, the Janken tournament that puts in the hands of chance the next centers, and many others. AKB48 is already ingrained itself in Japanese culture. My song recommendations for AKB48 would be Koi Suru Fortune Cookie, Teacher Teacher, Gingham Check, and my favorite, Iwake Maybe. AKB48 is truly a phenomenon, and no better time to bring them here than Kyun Kyun's debut, right? And so on the next day, we have the big moment. We have, and girl, it was really funny. Like, they needed to bring out this girl who could be the third idol cure and, eliminate her before she becomes one. And that is what they do. They create a plan of a fake Cure Idol and Cure Wink show. And when the show is there, we have a lot of fans, and we can see people that are really vibing with them already. We have people with light sticks, and the light sticks are the same as this one, but they are way bigger in the show. And these ones, they're so small. They should really sell bigger versions of these. I would buy them for sure because they're so lovely. Really, if you're thinking about getting merch, get this. I really like this merch. It's really, really beautiful. Videos don't do it justice. It's really pretty. And we could see people. You could see people dressed with the symbols of the Cures, and the dancing team guy. He was there for Kokoro, and it was a smart choice for him to be there. But then he is the one. He's full of kirakirara because he is getting Kokoro to join the dance club. But he is turned into the Makuranda. And the Makuranda this episode was really cool with the dance routines. Really nice. Makuranda starts breaking everything. And I feel like it's the first time we have the new Cure transforming before the other Cures from the season. I don't know. But it was so nice seeing Kokoro. And again, the shadows are being used. Here, Kokoro was under a tree. And, the way that the shadow of the tree was over her completely. And, the Makuranda was destroying everything. Everyone was running away. She was the only one who stayed behind. And, she had to find her bravery. She needed to do it because no one else would do it for her. And when both Uta and Nana arrive, Kokoro is already there. And she's already in danger because the Makuranda is ready to attack her. She's asking for the Makuranda to stop. She's not asking, she's demanding. And she was brave enough to do that already, but it was still a regular girl doing it. And for the first time, she was able to come out of the shadows by herself. It was not others that took her out of the shadow like Uta and Nana did earlier in the episode. No, it was finally Kokoro's time to do it. And then she does it by herself. And that makes her turn into Cure Kyun Kyun. Coming out of the shadows, being able to deal with your emotions, and wanting to protect the ones that she loves so much, which is the idea of Idol and Wink that were having their stage destroyed, brought her ribbon out of herself. And she was able to become Cure Kyun Kyun in a very lovely transformation. I really like that scene. And the way both Nana and Uta were watching her transform, Uta's eyes were shining by seeing Kyun Kyun. And Kyun Kyun was there, very happy, super full of kirakirala. Let's just put it like this. And let me just say that scene of Kyun Kyun, like, really going all out in the battle. I'm loving the battle scenes from UN Idol. They're so much fun. And Kyun, girl, it was so cool. The way she was running and sliding, and then she was spinning and jumping. It felt like there was so much movement, and it felt like she was having a lot of fun being able to be Kyun Kyun. And then Uta and Nana, they look at each other and they're like, it's our turn as well. And they do it and they transform. And then they both look at Kyun, and Kyun is like, ooh, I have my idols in front of me. And Kira Idol says that she's full of kirakirala. Kira winks at her. And we have at that moment, it was funny because we had the more or less the perception of the villain. Zakuri was watching them from afar, and we could see a lot of kira around Kyun Kyun because she was happy. She was being praised by her idols. There's no bigger present than that. And then we have Kira Idol and Kira Wink slaying a little bit. Girl, I really like the way they're drawn when they're battling. Like, the animation of this episode was really pretty, but always when we have Kira Idol battling and Kira Wink battling, their visuals are so good. I really like it. Oh my god, it's very cool. And then they hit the Makuranda, but then Kyun Kyun is able to use her minor power to then finish with Kokoro Revolution, her performance, and Kyun Kyun beat her final attack. Very, very nice. I love them both. I really like her song. It's very cheerable. Very nice, and it's so full of energy, very rock and roll. Oh my god, I love it. I was rooting for Kyun Kyun. I was vibing with her, and I was having a lot of fun. And the shadow thing, the shadow symbolism has been used in PreCure quite often, and the one that strikes me the most, like the one that I instantly remember when I think about it, is Cure Papaya from Tropical Rouge. We see it here again with Kokoro, and I feel like Cure Papaya was very good, but this was truly a masterpiece. It was really something else. It was next level. Truly incredible, and how this episode was able to use this metaphor. And now we have more, because we have the symbolism of the shadows, the symbolism of hiding the items. And now, at the end of the episode, we have Kokoro coming to terms with the fact that she is now an idol PreCure. And then she tells the dance guy that she's not going to be able to join the dance club. She's probably going to continue being the president of the Idol Wink Club, and now Idol Wink Kyun Kyun Club, without telling anybody, obviously, that she is part of the idols. And I found that ending moment so brilliant, because she tells the girls, Uta senpai, Nana senpai, I'm an idol with you now, but I'm still your biggest fan, so I will be close to you even more than before. It's like, I'm going to be following your every step. I'm going to be paying attention to everything you do, because I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me. Papa, paparazzi. Who remembers this iconic Lady Gaga song? But still, that's how she was feeling. But then she says something that is, I will be working with you. I will be close to you. And one day, I hope I will surpass you. And that is very present in idol culture. Sometimes girls become idols because they admire certain idols, and their goal is to be close to them, is to befriend them, but also to become idols like them or even surpass them in the idol universe. So it is something very, it's that type of rivalry that is healthy in a way. Obviously, in the real world, it might not always be healthy, but in UN Idol PreCure, it's definitely going to be, because it is how it is. But Another thing about the shadows, you can notice the difference in that scene, because in that scene, they were under a tree. They were in the shadows, but they weren't shadowed by the shadows. It was still light, and you could see sparkles of light in their faces. And at the end, Kokoro also runs away to the light to finish the episode in the light. Truly a masterpiece, a work of art. What an episode, my friends. What a character, my friends. I love Kokoro. I feel like she is, and that's something like really incredible about PreCure, because 22 seasons and she feels fresh. She feels new. She feels like something we haven't seen before. I love it. I truly, truly, truly love it. Kokoro, you are really incredible. You are something else, honey. I am loving this character so much. Anyways, babies, this was my opinion on episode 7. And next week, we're going to have Kokoro going full Wata mode, fangirl mode. And she's going to be paying attention, close attention, to Idol and Wink up close. This is going to be fun. Anyways, babies, this is it for now. I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you're a member, thank you very much for your support here on YouTube, on Patreon, on Throne. Thank you so much, babies. And if you've watched up to now, thank you so much as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.